Hello everyone. In previous sessions, we have completed all the sketcher tools and now to practice them, we will go through some exercises. So to begin the exercise, I'll refer this one. In this exercise, you can see two diameters given. So we will start with these two diameters first. Go on SolidWorks software, select two circles here and provide the diameters first. We'll go for smart dimension and say it as 108. Second diameter is of 90 as the radius is given 45. Again smart dimension, select the value. We will say it as 90. Next, after putting up the values for circles, we'll go for its upper side. That is one rectangle given here. Width of the rectangle is 134 and height is 10 mm. And the centers of rectangles are matching with centers of circle. We can go for center rectangle here and draw one rectangle. You can also refer corner rectangles. Then put up the values 134 by 10. Now to match the centers, we'll give one relation here as vertical with center of rectangle. And now we need to constrain this motion so as to define the position of rectangle. We'll refer this sketch. The distance given here is 62 mm. So put up the value as 62 here. Now we will start with two lines from quadrant and it should intersect the lower side of rectangle. After that we will go for this radius. So on these two corners the radius is given as 4 and on these two other corners the radius is given here as 8. We'll go with fillet command first and provide radius 4 on both the ends and say it OK. Then we'll cancel the command or we can change the value directly here in fillet and again provide the radius between these two lines. Say yes. Again between these two lines also. You can see if you go and select the fillet command for these two intersecting lines, it is trimming the lower side of the rectangle. So we'll undo it and again we'll go for other option, that is perimeter circle, so as to avoid the trimming of this line. This is the alternate for fillet command. We'll put up the value here as 16 as we are defining the diameter, but the radius was given 8. It is equal only. Now trim these entities and we can directly mirror this fillet. So to mirror, I'll draw one center line and then mirror this fillet of radius 8. Mirror about this line. Now I have to trim this line also here. After completing the upper portion with fillets, we will arrange the dimension in such a way that the sketch is visible in proper size. Next, we'll draw two circles by referring of 45 line. Draw one line here with 45 degrees. Select two lines and provide the angle as 45. Here you can see these lines end point is matching with this center and the angle here given is 45. That's why I have taken the construction line here. Now we'll put up the circles here. I'll make these two circles First one diameter is given as 18 and other one is 10. So put up the values here. First one of 18 outer circle and inner circle the diameter will be of 10. Now to define the position, I'll make sure to make the coincide relation with this 45 degrees line of center circle. Then also to provide a distance here. Providing the distance, you can see a reference from inner side quadrant is given as 40 mm distance till the center. So we'll draw one reference line and say it as angle of 90 degrees to make it adjacent with this line. You can see that line is not defined. So we'll give one relation also here. Between point and line, we have to say as coincide. After making the line coincide, we will offset this line to 14 mm distance. So we'll go for offset command, put up the value for offset as 14, select the entity to offset and say OK. We'll convert this line to construction only as it is a reference line. Then we'll put up the relation between 2 points and line as coincide. It is over defining. So we'll drag and see. Point and line say coincide. Now it is completely constrained. While drawing, you have to make sure that each and every sketch is completely constrained. We'll trim the extra entities here. And now we will mirror these two circles to the bottom side also. For that again you will need one line of angle 135 as this line was at 45 degrees. So in opposite quadrant the angle will be 135. So as to mirror these two entities here. So again select the mirror command, select both the circles, say mirror about this line and OK. We'll trim the extra entities here. Again OK. Now we will hide the dimensions here by using this tab, hide and show items. You can off the dimensions here. Now we can see the upper side of this profile is completely made. We'll go for the lower side now. To start with lower end, we will go for the rectangle first. Here you can see one rectangle is given. The width of rectangle is 178 and height is 60. We'll draw corner rectangle here as the rectangle is not symmetric from the center. We'll put up the length first. This one is 178. Here the distance is given as 16. We'll refer one dimension from origin to its corner. This distance is given here as 76. We'll put up the value here. And then provide the distance from center to the top side of rectangle. This distance is given as 60 mm here. Now the rectangle is completely constrained. This extension line may disturb the sketch and we may not understand whether it is line or extension line. So we will drag in such a position that it would not interfere in between the sketch. Next we will provide one center line. And now we need to offset this center line. The distance of offset is given here as 20 mm on right side as well as 20 mm on the same other side. We'll go for offset command and say bidirectional with 20 mm distance. Select the line and say OK. Now these lines are not matching to the circle. So we'll extend these entities by using extend command. Select the required line. After that, we have to provide two fillets here. The first fillet will be of radius 2 and the second will be of radius 4. Now we cannot apply direct fillet command as it may trim the extra lines here. So we will go for perimeter circle. We'll select perimeter circle, select the first entity, then second, and here we need to provide diameters only because perimeter circles cannot be defined by radius. So we'll provide the diameter as 4. The radius we require here was 2, that's why I have given diameter as 4. Now trim the extra entity. Same goes on the other end, but the radius here given is radius 4. So we'll draw perimeter circle of diameter 8 here. Provide the value of diameter here. Again trim the extra entities. At upper side also, we'll go with radius of 4. We'll take small radius. We'll provide as diameter 4. The radius will become 2. Then trim the entities and say OK. Now you can see when you properly place the dimension, this arc will automatically get removed. It is nothing but extension of the arc due to position of the dimensions. And now for the bottom side profile here, the distance of the starting point for this profile is given as 26 mm and the end point of this profile is given as 37 mm. So we'll go for the lines command, construction line or center line. We'll make one line here from this reference line and set the offset command of 26 mm distance here. Make sure that the geometry is offset geometry and say the reverse direction. After that again we will say one offset of 37 to the offsetted new line, say reverse direction, and again put on this offset geometry option here, say OK. Now we will start this geometry here. We have to make this profile. These two lines are inclined with 78 degrees and one horizontal line is provided. After that we have to take at top side one horizontal line of distance 20 mm from offset and again 12 mm offset line parallel to the inclined line. So we'll draw this profile here, first, second and third. We'll provide the height and angle here. The height is given as 31 mm and the angles are equal on both sides to make the profile symmetric. So we'll put the values here 78 degrees. The end distance will be coincided with this line of 37 mm. Now we have to make one more horizontal line here and set the distance as 20 mm. Then again we will offset this line by 12 mm as it is given here. These two lines are parallel. These two lines were also parallel. Again we'll provide the offset distance of 12. Select the line, say it as reverse direction and put off the offset geometry as we require the solid line here. Then I will extend these entities to the base. Drag this line so as to this line will intersect on this horizontal line. Again use extend command for that and then trim the extra entities. Now we'll go for fillets. Here you can see the fillet is given as 13 and on these two sides the fillet is given as radius 7. So we'll go for fillet command. Select the radius, put up the value here as 13 mm. Say OK. Next fillet 7. Select these two corner points and say OK. Again, one more fillet is needed to be provided here. That will be of radius 8. For that, we will use perimeter circle. We'll put up the value as 16. As the radius was 8, so diameter will become 16. Then trim the entities. And now this profile is also completed here. We'll place this dimension here to avoid that extra curve. After completing this profile, we will go for this pattern now, the mid portion pattern. For that, I will make the line of 30 mm here. We'll select the line command. Start it from origin and we'll provide the length this line as 30 mm. Also, we'll make one more line with the same length and one more line that is normal to the horizontal line. For the same length, I will provide relation as equal here. After drawing all the three lines, we have to make pattern here. We'll use circular pattern and the number of entities we require here are 8. First, second, third, fourth and these 4 entities. Total number of entities we will require is 8 entities. So I'll put the value here as 8. And then select the entities we require. These 3 lines, first, second and third. And say OK. So now this pattern portion is also complete here. Now to avoid the jumbling, to read the diagram, we'll hide these dimensions here by using this command, that is view sketch relations. We can put off the option here. You can see all the dimensions are hidden now. Again, we'll make 2 profiles here. At left side you can see one line and arc is provided. We'll go for this portion now. That will end the diagram here. So for that, I'll make one line from quadrant, straight line, perpendicular to this line, and then provide one arc. We can also go for fillet. We'll go here for 3-point arc now. And in 3-point arc, we'll select first point on this line, second point on the horizontal line, and third point for the orientation. Then we'll provide the radius here as 8. Now you need to tangent this arc to this vertical and horizontal line. For that, select the arc, press Ctrl and select the line. Go for the relation as tangency. Same on the other side also. Select the arc, press Ctrl and select the horizontal line, say tangent. We'll trim the extra portions here. We'll again hide the dimensions here. Now you can see this profile is completed. We can also see that we have made this profile completely fully defined and constrained. It doesn't matter if the construction lines are underdefined here. We just need to define all the solid lines so as to position each and every line and entities. So this was the exercise showing maximum commands of sketches here. Now we will start with part molding in leg structure. We'll stop here.